I'm supposed to leave in an hour, and this is the current packing situation. Hello! Okay, I am packing to go on my very first solo camping trip. I am very excited, but also feeling out of my depth. I've never been camping before. That's not exactly true. I went to Burning Man, which is a very particular camping type of experience, but I did not go alone. I went with a few people, and I slept on a beach once in a hammock on Hawaii. I don't know if that counts as camping. It was amazing. So I don't know what I'm doing, but this is what I'm planning on bringing. I have paper towels, disinfectant wipes that are also safe for food services, so I'm gonna be using that to clean my dishes and stuff. I have lanterns and fairy lights for lighting in the tent at night. I'm gonna bring my journal, the book that I'm currently reading. This is Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. Sunglasses, of course, and then, pepper spray for safety. I'm gonna bring matches and a lighter so I can start a fire. And I also have like a fire starter log for a campfire at night. I think that will be lovely. And I also, I feel silly saying this now that I'm on camera and holding the things, but I have zip ties. And the plan in my head was to, once I get into the tent at night, secure the zippers on the door of the tent as like an extra layer of protection if someone tried to get in. I don't know. It sounds crazy now that I'm saying that. Like, that's not really gonna do much if someone's trying to get in the tent, but it would at least warn me. Like, I would wake up like, oh, there's a rustling. Anyway, moving on. My water bottle. So I am not going to be completely off grid. I have a water and electric setup. So I'm going to bring my water bottle full of water, but I can fill up as needed. And because I have access to electricity, I'm going to bring my phone charger and phone just in case. But the plan is to completely disconnect. While I'm not completely off grid, I want to take this chance to get away from my phone and my computer and that whole part of my life. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see, okay, toiletries. I already started packing these up, but I'll show you what I got. So first I have my little grandma pouch here. This has some hand sanitizer, allergy meds. Allergies have been crazy lately. And then Benadryl, just in case I'm allergic to something, I don't know. I have some Kleenex in here as well. Anyway, and then for toiletries, I'm just going with the basics. I have my toothbrush and toothpaste. I'm gonna bring my brush, some moisturizer, and then the MVPs, sunscreen, and also bug spray. I think the bugs are gonna be crazy at night. I'm bringing deodorant, which is kind of silly because I'm gonna be alone, but I don't know. And then some face wipes. Camera equipment. So I have my DJI mics that I'm gonna use. I have a gimbal to stabilize my shots. I don't know if you can see it. I got my tripod here. These are the clothes I'm planning on bringing. So I have a couple of t-shirts, sweatpants. I have my bathing suit and a cover-up, 2 sweaters, and then I have a beach towel, an extra blanket, and a pillow. I'm also bringing my sleeping bag, and I'll have a blow-up air mattress. Why am I doing this? I don't really know. I guess I have a couple of answers to that question. One, I have been trying to plan a camping trip for maybe the last 5 years, and no one will go with me. So I decided if I want to have this experience, I'm just gonna have to plan it and go on my own. Another reason why I wanna do this is because it is outside of my comfort zone. And there is something very energizing, I guess is the word, about embarking on something that I don't know I'm fully capable of yet. I believe that I can figure everything out as I go, but I don't know how the experience will pan out. It's venturing into the unknown. So actually that might be part of it. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what your limits are until you push the boundaries a little bit. And you don't know the experiences that you might love or hate until you go out and experience them. Part of this is seeking novelty. I have always been a seeker of novelty. There's something about a new experience that like opens up my eyes wider than normal. I take in so much more information, I notice so much more, I appreciate so much more, and because of all of that, I think I create more memories. There's just like more data coming in. It feels like, I don't know if this is gonna make sense, it feels like, because I have all this new data, I'm creating all these new memories, that time expands. That, you know, a weekend might expand into a couple of weeks or a month in my head, as opposed to me being at home and going through my normal daily routines and going through life as normal. I think allows our brain, for good reason, to go on autopilot. You don't notice as much, you don't take in as much new information because it's not essential to your survival, really. If you imagine our ancestors being in a new environment, your senses would have to take in as much information as possible to keep yourself alive, to remember where you saw berries that you could eat, or a stream that you could get water from, or, you know, a potential threat. Like, you'd be constantly taking new information. But when we're living in our day-to-day life, I think that we are very accustomed to what we need, what we expect to experience, and part of our brain just turns off and focuses on other stuff. And, you know, that's probably for the best in some cases, but it has the effect of making time just speed by. Days turn into weeks, turn into months, turn into years, turn into decades. And so much of life just goes by in a blink. But when you're exposed to new experiences, everything slows down. You have to take it all in, kind of like a child. I think that's why I'm going on this solo camping adventure. Another reason is I just think it will be fun. I wanted to plan something fun to do. I'm realizing that nothing happens in my life unless I make it happen, unless I plan something, make the decision, make the phone call, make the reservation. A lot of making happening. This is me doing that. This is me trying to give myself the experiences that I want to have. The experiences I want aren't just going to come find me, unless I'm really lucky. I have to go find the experiences. I have to put myself in the middle of it all. So that's what I'm trying to do here. All right, so I'm gonna go pack the car, and I guess I will see you at the campsite. Wish me luck.
Stolen blanket, starry sky. We catch dreams as they float by. Not a mansion, not a throne, but it feels like coming home.
There's something so special about the road out to the coast. The best part of this campground is that it's almost directly on the beach. And this is where I must admit that I had some help. Nick dropped me off and helped me set up the tent. Looking back, I probably could have done this on my own, but seeing as it was the first time, I just didn't want to take any chances. Don't come at me.
Fell asleep with the weight of the year. Oh, woke to crows and cold, sharp clear. Oh, took my shame and my borrowed time. Oh, broke it open in the tree line. into the pine. Every wound's a thread of gold. Whoa, knotty root stories untold. Whoa, moonlight's mercy on my skin. Whoa, let the forest take me in. And ran from the north into the pines, breath caught up with borrowed time. I was lost.
Hi. Good chair. So I'm here. I am solo camping. I'm at the beach right now, if you can't already tell. My campsite is about a half-mile down the road, and I'm pretty much the only one on the beach. I passed a couple of people when I was walking down here, but right now it's just me and the seagulls. And it's such a beautiful night. I watched the sun go down. I got here just in time, and I saw a couple of dolphins. The water was so cold, but I just forced myself to jump in, and it was amazing. There's something exhilarating. There's something right about gearing up to do something that's slightly uncomfortable, slightly challenging, doing it, feeling the discomfort, and then this just release, this freedom, this... I don't know, I'm being overdramatic. I just like dunked in kind of cold water. I feel like it's a metaphor for other things. It's starting to get dark. I think I'm gonna head back to the campsite soon and make some dinner. Hopefully get this portable stove working right. And then, I don't know, I'll probably make a bonfire and then settle in for the evening.
With your whole face, hands in the wind like you own the day. I said nothing, just watch the trees. Try to hold on the way you held me. It was almost August, heat in the shade. You were humming songs the radio made. I never said what I meant to say, but you look like staying, and I felt like flame. We traced our names in the fogged up glass, tried to pretend it would always last, but even firewood turns to ash.
Hey. So I struggled through using the portable propane stove for the first time, and I made this ramen. It's supposed to be just the noodles from Momofuku, but I forgot a strainer, so I couldn't really strain the water, so it's more like a soup. I'm realizing that I didn't consider the timing on this very well, because by the time I got back from the beach, it was pitch black. So I'm doing everything with these lanterns and like doing things for the first time, like trying to hook up the propane to the stove, and I don't know, I'm stumbling around. But all is well now. I've got the fire going, I've got my soup. So there are some men in the next campsite over, and they're being so loud and crude, and I feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to go out and put out the fire and clean the stove and my dishes and stuff. But I'm gonna have to at some point. I don't know, I'm trying to avoid them.
You laughed with your whole face, hands in the wind like you own the day. I said nothing, just watch the trees try to hold on the way you.
Good morning. Back at the beach, trying to make sunrise. I think I just missed it, but I'm kind of on the west side of the island here. So I'm hoping once I round the curve, I'll be able to see more.
Said what I meant to say, but you look like staying, and I felt like flame.
It's almost too bright to look at. Yeah, so last night was rough. I just felt unsafe because of these men. I kept on waking up in the middle of the night, afraid that the tent was falling down or that something was wrong. And last night, I was walking back home, or walking back to the campsite after sunset, and I came across these giant horseshoe crabs. They look like helmets that maybe men in the army would have worn in the 1920s. You have to Google them. And they were stuck in the sand and like trying to wiggle their way out. I see a lot of them out here, just like the shells. I assume they got stranded and died, but these two were still alive. So I tried to use my sandals and then sticks that I found on the sand to like guide them back to the water. And eventually I had to like pick them up. I was terrified and I got them back to the water, but I ended up staying till it was already past dark on the beach. And then I rushed back and I wanted to start a fire and make dinner, but it was already pitch black by the time I got back to the campsite. It took me like 45 minutes just to cook ramen. It was an ordeal. Kind of seems worth it now though. I'm excited to go back and make some coffee and some oatmeal. Okay. See you back at the campsite.
Woke up slow with the morning light, coffee steam, the birds in flight. Pack my worries in yesterday's coat, let them drift like leaves in a riverboat. I laid my fears beside the fire, let the smoke carry them higher. In the quiet I found home, in the stillness I'm not alone. Took the long road past the signs, tangled thoughts in crooked pines. Found a clearing deep and wide, where my restless heart could hide.
At this point, I think I forgot I was making a video. I stopped filming, I stopped narrating, and focused all of my attention on avoiding those men and getting the hell out of there. As soon as I got home, I jumped in the shower and then took a very long nap. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.
I'm reaching out, guide me through, show the way.